Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Zentangle Original Tangle Sampson. Now, I don't know why this is one I have kind of shied away from a little bit, and and after doing Icanthus, this one I think is a little bit easier than Icanthus. And it's, it's like sometimes you're just like, let's just hit these, and also inspired by the latest project pack, which is number 21, and they utilized Sampson on there. All right, we'll get started. I was going to add something, but I'll add it in a minute. All right, I'm going to do this tangle as is listed in my Zenthology. Now, I don't believe that Zentangle has put out these step outs. It's one of those, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I know it used to be that, they would save some back so that way, CZTs had a, kind of had their, some special things that you would get just from. But since they have put this out on, actually several project packs, as I'm looking at the Tangle Patterns link, we're going to go ahead and do it. But I'm going to do it the way they had it shown on there, because it is rather neat. So it's going to start off with an X. And I think I share all of that because I want you to know you can do this many different ways. All right, I'm going to extend that one just a little bit more. All right, then pick a spoke, and we're just going to put some little curve lines. They don't have to line up. If you don't want them to, I'll make sure that I have some that don't. Just working your way up. And then turn your tile, of course. Same thing, leaving a little space down here at the bottom. And mine are just becoming whatever, which is a good thing. A lot of these, while it's deliberate strokes, and things on purpose, at the same time, there's this line of not thinking as well that I find that I need to have, so it's not like I'm not like uber focused on something. All right, then, and I love actually this similar to Icanthus and Amaze or Stir It Up Tangle, because I've heard the reference to a very, very, very strong or many, many cups of coffee. So you're going to pretend that you have that. Those that say, oh, I couldn't do Zentangle because I have jiggly hands. Oh, yes, you can do this one. This one is going, I have a few as I come across them. I have to go back through my catalog, and I have a jiggly hand-friendly playlist. So, starting here at the base, and we're just going to take one spoke at a time. And with that well-caffeinated hand, don't worry about whatever you do. It's kind of like an aura, sort of, and just, enjoy it like that. And don't worry about it. And we're going to do that for each side. Now, like here, I've come, close. We're going to use the hollabow technique then. So I'm going to start on this side. I was so involved in doing it. Hopefully I didn't cover up what I was doing with my hand. Let's try. I'm going to go maybe a little bit slower. And just really digging in, like this in there. Well, I say that. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it is however you want to do it. And so here, I usually say, continue on as if you're drawing, but you're not. You pick up your pen and then you continue on the other side. So that's why I was air jiggling there. Okay. And for each one, and I think this is the reason that I shied away from this one, because I'm like, wait, jiggly line, just looking at it, I'm like, that's not one of the elemental strokes, because I get all like rule oriented-y on it. It's just part of me. I know it. I get used to it, and then I do a check. All right. Well, let's investigate. Can't have Zentangle breaking all of these rules. that they created. It's just, you know, it's what's funny. We learn about ourselves, and kind of like even more so. I kind of know I'm that way anyway, but it's such a nice, easy way to be able to work through some of that stuff. Because some personality styles, it's like, you know, have that tendency of it's this or it's that. It's black or white. It's, you know, you set the rule. I had to follow the rule exactly, and you know, it's. And then when everybody else isn't playing by the rules, that makes it extra frustrating. And then when they change the rules, oh my gosh. So my point is with Zentangle, you know, a lot of the philosophies, they'll talk about art mimics life and things like that. And there's a lot of life lessons that can be learned through Zentangle. And you don't really realize it till you've been doing it for a while. And you're like, well, now wait a minute. And, you know, so I just think it's rather funny. All right, so that's that. That is essentially it, except for maybe to add some shading. And, oh, no. Take that back. No, that's not it. One other step. Now, I didn't draw, you know, like, you know, a box around this, but, so I'm just going to kind of go to the edge. But we're going to just draw an, you know, curve line, you know, meeting. It actually makes a nice contrast, but, and that would be if you're doing it this way. If you want to take, like, say one stem, and no, I watched through some of the project pack, the videos that were on, that Linda has listed on Tangle Patterns, where they were showcasing this, and they didn't do this part. So if you want to do it this way, this is just a nice way to finish it up. It adds a nice contrast too. Like that. Oops, sorry. Like that. And then, and I'm going to pick just one side here. And they had us just doing, essentially, just picking a side and auraing it. Working all the way down. And then I'm just going to do it the same thing on each side, just turning the tile and doing the same thing. And then we'll add some shading. This is a nice technique, or a nice thing to do. I don't know if we call it a technique or not. I guess you could. When you have some, like, open areas like we did as a fill-in. And of course, you know, you could add orbs. You could do, you know, anything that you want. This is, I like this. And as I said, I wanted to, you know, follow the step out from Zentangle. Oh gosh, I'll have to find this quote, because as I was watching some things, I have it right here. Because the thing, you know, because I do like to follow, and there's nothing wrong with following what they do. And this was, I don't, you know, I'm going to post this. Oh, it was actually, no, yeah, Project Pack number 2, day 3, and listening, and this was so cute. Maria says, she's talking through, they introduced Rumpus, and she says, Tangles have to be fairly easy to teach, and have some rules to them. But not only rules, but guidelines. And then Rick, you know, interjects, you know, kind of dovetails and kind of takes over the sentence. You know, at least enough rules that you know one, at least enough rules that you know when to break them and know what you're doing. It's just, it's so funny. I'm gonna start capturing some of these quotes, well, because they're good, and yeah, so clever. All right, I need to. My other pencil is MIA, so we're going to use the old golf pencil. And so I thought for shading, I mean, this looks neat. We could do some shading, you know, maybe on the one side if you want to. I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to do, though, is put some graphite. I don't know if I'm going to do that center part, so I'm going to skip that. Just inside here. And then we're going to spread it out kind of to both sides. So with a little bit of a circular motion. Ooh, I like it. And you could always come back if you wanted to and make it a little bit darker in the center. I think it works. It's working. If I do say so myself, I think it's working just fine. And then, you know, if you want, depending on how large some of yours are, could, just put a little on the leaves. Oh, and you know, like right here, well, let's do a little bit more on purpose with some, putting graphite there instead of just what's left over. Just because that one is tucked underneath. But this gives it that curviness, the bendiness. And it's nice just using what's left on the tortillon, because then it's nice and light. But like I said, you know, actually I think it was fine even without it. It was fine even without any. It looked kind of neat. This gives it some life though, right? And I don't know, you know, it could, like I said, could do some shading on there. I don't know, it's like I don't want to take anything away. It looks really neat. Just like that. And I think I will leave it just like that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, again, take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section. I'm pointing to my screen as if you can see me pointing. In it, because, I mean, there's no, you know, step out and like samples from Zentangle. Like I said, sometimes they do that. They put it out on their newsletter or blog. Sometimes, you know, they don't, like this. But it has been on several, several project packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And the last one, well, actually, what did I watch? I watched the second to last one there, so that was Project Pack 14. And I know on Project Pack 21, they modified this. So it was a bit of a variation on it. So do take a look at them and, you know, and be inspired. That's why it's there. That's why I call it that. Because there's more than one way to do this. But I wanted to show the original way because that's how I am. That's what I like to do. All right. So in that description section, besides links to the step outs, you know, and while you're at Tangle Patterns, if you've not subscribed to tanglepatterns.com, make sure to do it. It's a really, really great resource. I use it. There's some other ones that I use, but Linda does a really, really nice job of curating tangles and other information, you know, all things Zentangle. And then she also puts out a guide, and you'll see that in there on the right-hand side. She has links to that, that you can get every year. I forget how much it is, you know, $19, $20 or something. Or, you know, just, you know, kind of donating to the cause, because she does this based on donations and, you know, her own, you know, goodwill and love of Zentangle. So I support her every year with that, and then throw in a little bit extra because I do utilize you know, Tangle Patterns quite a bit. And that's why I also want to give a nice plug every so often to make sure that, you know, don't just go there, but, you know, if you want to subscribe, it's like, I like to mix things up with what I'm presenting. So, but no, do subscribe. And while you're there, also there's a link for Zentangle. So you go to zentangle.com and subscribe to their blog newsletter. And then, while you're in my description section for the video, I have a link to my website. You can follow my blog, as well as my Facebook page, so you could follow me there. If you are interested in classes, I do post them on my Facebook page, so you should get notifications. There's also a couple other places, like Eventbrite and Meetup.com. I have links on my website, so you know, you can find that information there and follow me if you're interested in that. I generally do them on the same days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless there's something weird in my schedule. And I do them at starting at 11 a.m. or 7 p.m. And just depending on the class, I have a lot of them are free. Thursdays are always free. And the paid ones, they're generally a little longer. So the free ones are an hour, paid ones are at least an hour and a half. but some of them longer than that. And anyway, and you know what? And while I'm plugging that, come check us out for free. And if you like it, maybe check out, some of the paid ones. But if you end up really liking it and know that you will take, or at least want to be able to have access to the replays to what I do afterwards, the paid classes, I do have a membership club. And information is right there on the menu on my website, so you can find it. But I every once in a while I need to make myself, or remind myself, say something about it. So I'm saying something about it, just so you know it's there. All right. Oh, and then also we have a link to our Facebook, private Facebook group. So if you would like to be part of the conversation and the fun, we'd love to have you. There are 4 questions to answer to gain entry, just so you're aware. And I think that's it, except that I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please click like. And if you like it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.